Maranatha volunteers work hard. No matter where they are in the world, they put in long hours and endure harsh conditions, all in the name of missions. They do it and overcome physical challenges because of the payoff. Lives changed and the gospel spread. Plus, there's the satisfaction of watching the walls rise on a church or school building where nothing existed before. And celebrating this labor of love with the recipients is a memory that lasts a lifetime. But mission work isn't always so grand. Sometimes it's in the small things, contributions that might go unnoticed, quiet projects without much fanfare. This was the case for a small group of volunteers that congregated in rural Alabama at the Uchee Pines Institute. This health and wellness center, nestled in the peaceful woods outside of Columbus, Georgia, has been a source of healing and education for decades, almost as long as Maranatha has existed.
Uchee Pines Institute was founded in 1970 by two physicians, Drs. Calvin and Agatha Thrash. They were actually atheists at one point, but they became Seventh-day Adventists, and they took all their brilliance in medicine and threw it into medical missionary work. There's basically three aspects to what we do. We have the Lifestyle Center, which is the primary focus of Uchee Pines. We also have a medical missionary training program. So we teach people who have the conviction of doing mission work, especially having medical skills and using simple, natural methods, especially non-toxic modalities. People come here from all over the world to train, and they're able to take the skills with them into wherever God leads them in the mission field. The third aspect of what we do is we have a health food store and plant-based restaurant named Country Life, which is located in Columbus, Georgia. We've been developing our farm over the last couple of years. The goal is to supply as much as we can of our needs at the Lifestyle Center. We take produce to some of the less fortunate individuals in the community who don't have healthy foods, and we use that as a way to minister to them, so taking them some groceries as well as, some literature.
Maranatha's connection to Uchee Pines goes back to 1988, when volunteers helped to construct a staff housing building. Since then, nearly 350 volunteers have served on 8 different projects, helping with nearly a dozen staff homes, a church, and renovations in the Lifestyle Center.
Maranatha has a special place in Uchee Pines' heart. Maranatha as an organization, and especially each individual who's come from all over, it really touches our hearts that people would donate their time and their skills and sacrificially give. As you know, Uchee Pines, all of us we're volunteer missionaries here too, so we understand the concept of sacrifice, and it really touches our hearts that total strangers, people who we haven't met, would come and help us to do the ministry we're doing in our corner of the earth.
It takes a lot of maintenance to keep a facility like this going when you have about 40 to 50 homes, and along with the actual school and buildings and church and the actual Lifestyle Center. When I originally came here, we were using mostly mobile homes, and these homes have been well used over the years. Luckily, our donors came through, and we've been able to buy the materials to put in about, I think it was about 12 homes now that Maranatha's helped with at one time or another. And the labor has really cut down the costs of actually putting these homes up. There's no way the Institute could pay for an outside contractor to come in and do the work.
Not only does Richard understand how hard it is to maintain a property the size of Uchee Pines, he also believes strongly in the mission from first-hand experience. After his weight reached around 350 pounds and his glucose reached diabetes-level numbers, his doctor asked him to make serious changes.
When I heard those numbers, it was a bit of a shock. I didn't realize that it was that bad. And so I decided that I needed to come back to the Institute and get serious about my health. When I initially came to the Institute, I had to use a walker to get down the hallway to my room. Over that 17 days that I was here at the Institute, I was able to, the last few days of it, I was able to do what we call the farm loop. It's about 1.5 miles, roughly. Currently now, about 2 months later, I'm still doing 2 to 3 miles a day in walking, on the average. And my weight has dropped from the initial 350 down to 270 right now. My goal is to get down to 200 eventually. If a person comes to Uchee Pines and are really serious about improving their health, there is lots of things that this institution will help them in being able to accomplish improving their health. It takes the institution, it takes the Lord, and it takes prayer. Without them right now, I'd probably be looking at losing my feet. And anybody looking at that kind of a situation knows that it's downhill from there.
Stories like Richard's fuel the mission of Uchee Pines, but the lifestyle center where this mission happens was showing where.
The building has been through quite a bit. We are in the south, and even though this is kind of our cold season right now, but usually things are very hot and humid. It's affected our flooring. It's a glue-down type of vinyl that was in there. And a lot of that started coming up, and in some areas it actually started bubbling up really tall. So it didn't really look very good to the guests who were coming in.
What we're specifically doing is that we are reflooring several areas. We're doing hallways and rooms, tearing up the old vinyl floor, stripping that down and putting on an underlayment, and then new flooring. We're gluing down new flooring.
It has been challenging. I would recommend anybody to bring some Band-Aids and some moleskin, but again, it's up my alley. I don't mind getting little bruises and scrapes here and there. This is my first mission trip in Uchee Pines, Alabama. I'm starting small, starting local in USA. My personal goal is to get a feel of what mission trips are like. Since this is my first one, I would like to do more in the future. This is a first-hand experience. I don't have any construction experience because I've mainly done computers and taking pictures and surveys and things of that sort. So to actually do hands-on, to work on a building and hopefully in the future build a church, that would be one of my goals. To see some people in another country going into a home for the first time, their home church.
Wayne Nazarenas is no stranger to the international Maranatha mission trips Victor aspires to. He served on 9 overseas projects with Maranatha before retirement when a variety of factors made them more challenging.
I guess when we moved to Georgia, I thought, oh, it'd sure be nice to do a Maranatha project. And I found out that there was a Maranatha project at Uchee Pines. I said, well, that's only about 70 miles from where I live. I met all these people, and they said, this was really enjoyable. I love to do this. So I started doing stateside trips. For one thing, it was less expensive. You just have your travel expenses to get to where you're going, and then they provide meals and housing wherever we go. It's fun to meet these new people, and there were a sprinkling of people that had been on other trips with me. It was kind of like a reunion. You become almost like family.
We've met some great people, and I was thinking about this earlier. It gives us a chance to have a portion of the legacy. I can say, oh, at this project, we did some of this. So some of our heart is in this. So we leave a little bit of us in these different places, and that actually is, I think, a great thing.
Volunteers at Uchee Pines also helped to brighten some spaces of the Uchee Pines Lifestyle Center with fresh paint, but the main work was flooring. Compared to international mission trips where an entire building may be raised in front of one's eyes, laying flooring in the United States might seem less exciting or inspiring. Throughout this project, volunteers were asked, is replacing flooring mission work?
Yes, it is. That sounds funny, doesn't it? Maranatha's projects are to help build people by building churches and schools and camps and health institutes and doing things so that that other professionals can serve people's needs with those physical needs and spiritual needs.
Especially at a wellness center, because they're there to help people. And if we can make it nicer for them, it's good for the people that are coming.
Flooring is mission work because this is where people will be stepping in to get healing. People will be stepping in to meet Jesus. So it's hard work, yes, but it's definitely something that I have to remind myself that this isn't just another job. This is a spiritual retreat center where people are coming to better themselves, in the way that Christ would want us to better ourselves. So yes, it's definitely a mission trip.
We don't want the patients to be focused on poorly designed walls or peeled up flooring. What my thinking is that we have the ability to help the patients and the staff focus on the correct things and not be distracted by ugly things.
People get excited when they might go to let's say the Holy Land, right? And they get excited, wow, this is where Jesus could have walked, or he may have been in this very spot. Well, I feel like that every day at work. At Uchee Pines, I'm like, Jesus is here. He's here tending to our patients, to our guests, really, and to us as well as workers. And so having these areas refreshed, it was a little dark in there. And we don't want things to feel too dark inside. We want things to feel light and bright so that Jesus can be seen even in the interior design and scheme. We really value people who have sacrificed their time and given of themselves, their skill. When we spend our time, we're really spending our life, So people have been donating their lives to come and help, and it's really big because Uchee Pines, we're a 501c3, we're a nonprofit organization. No one here is making money as far as personal gain or anything like that. And so as an institute, there are two problems that always exist in ministry, which is a lack of people and a lack of money. And so for Maranatha to come and volunteer their time, volunteer their life, their skills, financially, it's been, I see it as a huge donation, as a gift